Right. Thank you, also Karen, for having me into your home, inviting me in. So we can go through some of these quick little crafts and projects that you actually can get started with new things, try new things, and also expand into other areas with this too. It's a good way just to start a little bit because of the fact not everybody has done gardening or doing other crafts. So it's a good start, but also to be patient in case you have done a lot of these things before, because we don't know at this point where you are with gardens and herbs and calming bottles and all this stuff. So this is just something for some of you as a refresher, and some of you to start learning new things. And I'm Karen Storr. I have the 9th Street Wellness Center and 9th Street Farmhouse. The Wellness Center, it's going to be 11 years in June that we've been open, and the farmhouse is going to be 5. So we've been here for a little while, so we're doing a lot of new things, getting new things started. It's an adventure for myself and everyone who works here. So I want to thank you for having me into your home. What we want to start is, you all got your packets, I understand, and that's great. And you'll have some idea as far as what I'm doing and what I'm talking about. So if we can start first with the do-it-yourself herb garden, okay? Why I sent the egg cartons along is because most of us eat eggs in some way or another. So I'm also really into recycling and using things we have in our house, okay? So that's why I sent that along. It's very simple to start an herb garden or vegetables. It doesn't make any difference what it is. You can start with these. And why I like the egg carton is because once your gardens are completed, either the herbs or your vegetables, you actually can cut right through the egg carton and you can plant those right in your regular garden, because the egg carton will actually start to disintegrate into the soil. And you can put them in your pots, you can do bales, you can do a raised bed, whatever kind of a garden or space you have, because that's important. Some of us only have a patio, but you can have several pots up there to plant whatever you like, whether it's vegetables or your herbs. So this is why I make sure I try to use as much as I possibly can for recycling. So this is what was along with your packet. And I wanted to share as far as for the instruction, your planting guide, your cycle of your plant. So that way you will be able to see how the process works. And also a little bit of a fun thing about different fruits and vegetables that you actually can start growing and what you can use them for. And we also had in there was the journal. So you can keep track of how your plants are actually starting. The process, you can actually make pictures or take pictures with yourself or whatever you want to do, or draw them yourself. And that way you will be able to see the progress, whether it's your herbs or you have your fruits and vegetables. And in your packet, we also got the small little packs of your herbs. The reason I put them in the see-through packets for you is because so you could see the sizes of them, because they all vary in size, but most of them are very tiny, especially with herbs. Now, when you go into vegetables, you'll find larger seeds, of course. So I wanted them for you to see that when you're going to take these out, use your 2 little pincher fingers here and grab those seeds, because they are very tiny. So, you know, the children have it really easy because you have smaller fingers. But myself, it's like, oh my gosh, I wish I had smaller fingers so I could grab those little seeds. So that's what's in there. There's seeds for all the 4 herbs. And also, too, I put in there 4 popsicle sticks. And the reason I did that is because when you plant your herb garden or a vegetable garden, A lot of the different plants look very similar when they start to grow. Even like these. If you wouldn't know what's in there, they all pretty much look the same. Unless you try the chives, then you know you've got onions. So that's why I send the popsicle sticks along. So you can actually put that in there so you know what it is. So what we're going to do is we will just get started. And you had your soil in there. Now this soil will probably do several, okay, small herbs or your seeds for your vegetables. I just sent a lot more along because you could probably do an entire egg carton with that soil what's in there because you don't need that much, okay? So what we're going to start is, some people don't want to get their hands dirty, and I understand that, but I do, but I will show you, you can use either a spoon for your soil, and you're not going to need much in there, okay? Maybe 2 little teaspoons, and that's why I'm saying you have a lot, that much, or you can use a little scoop and take a little scoop, 1 for each of your herbs that you're going to whatever you want to work with, your hands, a spoon, a little scoop is great. So now that we have all of the soil in there, now we are going to take out one of the herbs, and I'm going to start with the largest one, which is the cilantro, and I'm just going to take a couple of those out, and I'm going to put those in the soil and just push them down a little bit. Just use your fingers. Now there you will get your fingers a little dirty, okay, but you're going to put those in there, okay? And I'm putting my stick in there so I know I put some cilantro in that one. And then we're going to take the basil, very, very tiny seeds, as you can see in yours, and I'm just going to take a few of these seeds and put those in. Just a few, and just tap them into the soil a little bit with your finger. And I'm going to put my basil stick on there so I know I have basil, because once it starts growing, I'm not going to know what it is. It could be a surprise though too. If you want to have a surprise, then don't use your sticks at all. And we're going to do chives. And like I said, that'll be one you'll be able to sense right away that they smell like onions. And these, a lot of these, if you do plant them in the soil outside, they will come back every year. When you walked up, there's chives growing all over. I have cilantro, it comes up every year, all over. Parsley, they start coming back. So that's great. All right, so we are going to we just did our chives right here. We're going to put that one in, and we're going to do the parsley. Now, the reason I did these 3 herbs are so important, and I do the extra one as far as parsley. Not everybody eats that much parsley, but it's very healthy for us, and that's why I added that 4th one for us, because it's so healthy.
What are some things you could do with parsley that maybe you wouldn't think of?
Parsley you can actually put in your soups. It's so delicious on soups. And I put them in salads. I put parsley in just about everything. So whatever you like, and some people even put it on their tacos and pizzas. So hey, we're back live. Sorry about that. It's called technology. And I'm not techie, so I can't help with any of that. I'm the one that gets my hands dirty.
We did have one question before. How many seeds were in each of the
Okay, the seeds, I wouldn't put any more than 3, because it's sort of like one of those experimenting. If one seed does not sprout, you have 2 more to come up. because in this small of a container, you'll have too many. Now, if you did a whole tray or you did a whole large pot, then you could put quite a few seeds in there. But seeing that you're using a small egg carton, that's not going to hold too many. Okay? So we did get all of ours planted, and putting the 2 or 3 seeds in there, 3 max. And if you do more, that's fine. It's just that once you transplant it and cut those and put them in a larger pot, or you might want to eat them right away to take the top off and eat them, well, then you'd have to just start over again. You could use the same egg carton over again. Or if you're going to put it in pots or in soil, or in your bale garden, or whatever way you're going to plant it, you just put it and actually put that right and bury it under the ground. Okay? So now the biggest thing is you want to find a spot for your herb garden or your vegetable garden, whatever it is. Your herb garden, your herbs will start popping up within 3 or 4 days. You're going to start seeing them coming through. The biggest thing is find a place in your home, because now we're getting warm weather, so you can put it outside. But until then, find maybe a windowsill, somewhere where you have direct sunlight coming in quite a bit of the day. And also, if there are smaller children, or you have little brothers and sisters, or you have pets, you want to protect it from them, because they're curious and they're going to want to go into that dirt. Okay? Because guess what? Little brothers and sisters want to be involved in what you're doing, and also the pets do too. So try to find a safe place for it. So there's room on a sill or a place in maybe in your room. If you have a dresser where you have sunlight coming in, put it there. So, and then every day you can ask mom, dad, or your big brother, big sister, if you can't find one, for a little spray bottle or a large spray bottle, whichever you're planting. If you're doing a big pot, you might want to have a larger one. You are going to spray that garden every day because it needs moisture. And that's how things are going to germinate. They're going to germinate by having sunlight and naturally warm. And you're going to spray every day so it has moisture. And then just watch it grow. Okay? So that's very simple. So those are a couple things you want to look for. A little spray bottle for yourself, or a large one if you're going to do a big pot. Okay? So that is our herb garden. And that's all ready to go. Now we're going to look at the calming bottle. Or you could call it your own little snow globe. Have any of you gotten snow globes, like for a gift? Or if you watch, it looks, you shake it up, you watch all the snow coming down. That's the similar concept from a calming bottle. So what you're going to need for that is you're going to have a bottle, any type of a see-through plastic bottle, whether it can be one from soda or juice, something you can see through, okay? And you want to have naturally the labels off so you can see what's happening. And you will want to have some clear glue, and you can use any kind of glue. I have Elmer's here, but you could use like a craft glue, or if that's something where you just don't have the money to buy glue, you can also say, hey, Mom, Dad, can I have some of your cooking oil? Cooking oil is clear, and you could use that also instead of the glue. Or you can find clear glue in the smaller containers. I just buy it in the larger containers because it saves me money. And when I do mine for at home, I use oil. But everybody is different. So there's another option for you to save some money if you want to try it with oil, as long as it's clear. All right. Now, also, if you have a funnel, or if you're real steady. I use a funnel because I'm not that steady, and I like to get things done quickly. So I use that funnel. Find food coloring. It's food coloring, like for your Easter eggs or that type of thing. You want to find some food coloring with all the 4 colors, because we all have favorite colors, and those are the colors that come in your food coloring. And I'm sure you could find but I just keep the 4 because that works really well for me. And with these sparkles, now here again, I usually buy bulk, but if you want to just have enough for yourself, you can buy these little containers right at the dollar store. They'll have all the 5, 6 colors for a packet for $1. So it's not real expensive. You'll get like 4 or 5 different colors. At least to start, you can experiment to see what you really like. And you can find some different glitters, bigger pieces. I wouldn't go too heavy because I will show you what is going to happen. This was an example. When it was too heavy, the pieces that were put in, you can't get a mix up. It's too heavy and it pulls it down. And it'll stay there. It'll go a few minutes, but the large pieces go right away. So if you can watch for that, try to have the smaller pieces if you can. And you're going to need some tape. You can use clear tape or you can use packaging tape. I use duct tape because it's strong and you're going to be shaking that a lot to see how pretty everything is going to come down and calming you or taking a break. Because sometimes we need a break from mom, dad, sisters, and brothers, or we need a break from homework. Because a lot of you have been doing homework at home. And that's a good way to shake it up and let it, watch it go down, get calm, relax, breathe, and then you'll be ready to go back and do your homework. So I use the duct tape because it's stickier and it's a lot stronger. So that way it's going to last better when you're shaking that bottle a lot. Or somebody else gets a hold of it. You don't want them to get all of your glue or oil if it would happen for the top to come off. So what we're going to start out with, I have like 3/4 of a bottle, and that's not that important if you want it more full or half. As long as you're going to leave enough room to put about 2 ounces of glue or oil, whatever you're going to have. That's why I put this in here, because these are 2-ounce containers, so that way it makes it a little easier. But also, too, if you have a lot of glue, great, we're back. Sorry about that, but I'm sure we'll catch up what we're doing. Okay, so if you can, to get that oil or your glue and put that into your water. Okay, we're going to do that real quickly. And we're going to squeeze that in there. Now this is pretty easy to do where you wouldn't have to have the funnel for this. And if you do need it, you'll just have to wash the funnel. That's not a problem, so we want to squeeze that in there. I hope you can see me doing that. And I forgot to tell you, I did put some protection over my table or your counter. If you're working on a counter, you want to put paper down, or I put a plastic tablecloth because I didn't want to soil the tablecloth underneath. We do want to respect, the things we have in our home and take care of them. So when we're doing our projects. So I'm just squeezing that all in there. go. It's almost there. Okay. Okay. Now we're going to see what color do I like. If you like blue, yellow, red, food coloring, you want to pick out the color that you like. I'm going to try a little yellow. I'm only going to put a drop because if you put too many drops, you won't see the sparkles coming down. It's going to get too dark. Sometimes totally will get black if you have several drops of food color. So let's put a little bit of food coloring in. One little drop. There we go. So you can do a lot of calming bottles. You have a lot of drops in those little containers. All right. Now we're going to decide what color we like for our sparkles. Well, so I took the gold, which is yellow, and I'm going to go back to, I put some yellow or gold in my bottle. You can see the color. I'm going to use green sparkles because I like green and gold. And I'm going to put those in there. And I'm just going to check to see if I have put my cap on and see if I have enough sparkles going on in there that I can actually watch sparkles. Now I'm looking, I'm thinking, oh, I think I need more sparkles in there, more green. And I'm also going to put a few of my larger ones in there. So I can, right? And we're going to shake that up. There, now, sorry about the technology. We're getting it worked out. We have our bottle, and I have all little things that are moving around. See that from there? All the things that are moving around in there and the real pretty crystal sparkles. Now, what we need to do to seal that top, like I said, I took duct tape and I like purple. So one little tip, if you're doing either the duct tape or regular tape, cut a few little slits on the bottom because it'll wrap around your bottle top a little bit easier and you'll get a better seal on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this around and then it bends. You can get it to bend around if you cut those little pieces on your glue. The glue will stick and it'll be great. Just if you cut a little few slits on the bottom, it'll wrap around the top of your bottle better and it'll be sealed. Or you can use glue and glue that top on also, whatever you prefer to do. Some people like to have the different colors as far as to wrap around. So if you have a favorite color, then use that. And there isn't any right or wrong color. There isn't anything that you can do that isn't correct. Whichever way you like to work with it is great. So I would say you can have your calming bottle. So you can look at it at night even before you go to bed, or you can have it for your time out. They call it mindfulness, where you can actually be getting those thoughts positive so you can do a better job with your homework and everything else. So I want to thank you for letting me into your home. And if you can get some pictures, send them to the sisters. And that way they can get those posted as far as your projects. That would be great because that's something that we all want to share and the importance of having your organization and your groups. And I hope to see you soon. Okay, thank you.